My presentation. This video is going to show us what suspended chords, 1-4-5 chords, have in common note by note with triads. Triads are major, minor, diminished chords, mostly major and minor, and in a single major key, a diatonic system, we have 7 chords, 7 triads. C in the key of C, C is major, D is minor, E is minor, F, G are major, A is minor, B is diminished. Over here I have numbers. A lot of musicians will number the chords 1 through 7 where it applies to pretty much any key. In this case, because we're looking at note names, I'm using the key of C. So when we look at the suspended chords, if you're not familiar, a suspended chord is essentially a 1-4-5 instead of a 1-3-5. You see C, E, G, this goes C, F, G, D, F, A, this is D, G, A. So if we look at the guitar fretboard, we notice, I'm going to go ahead and delete some of these here, that a suspended chord has an arrangement in 3 straight strings on the guitar. And they are not in the same order, but if we notice it's the same note set, like here's C, F, G, here's D, G, A, so on and so forth. Notice there's 2 chords here, the 1 sharp 4 and 5 and the 1 4 flatted 5, that are naturally going to take on a little bit different shape, where we have F, B, and C. And that's because from F, the 4th is augmented, and so not technically a suspended chord, but it carries the same 1-4-5 arrangement from the diatonic key. So what is this all about? If I take the 3 notes of a suspended chord, C, F, G, and we compare it to the triads, we'll see that one of these notes of the suspended chord are present in all of the triads. So what that means is that if, let's say, there's a chord progression going on in the key of C and you want to find some target notes in which to solo off of, one of these notes will be present in each of the chords. Let's just check this. We have C, F, and G, so there's C and G, but we're just looking for one. C, F, G, C, G, C, F. That means that if you have your focus on these 3 notes, that one of them is going to harmonize with the progression, so long as the progression is all diatonic. And so that's with the CFG. Let's just check on another one of these here, the D, G, and A. D, G, and A, we have G, A, G, A, D, A, D. Again, one of each of the suspended chords is present in each of the triads. If we take F, B, and C, let's just check another because this one has the sharp 4. Well, all those, so F, B, and C. Well, we have C, F, B, C, B, C, F. So point being, and you'll have to experiment with this on your own, is that the notes of the suspended chord, the 3 notes of any of the suspended chords in the key will match any of the triads. Now there is also another arrangement of notes, and those are like, for instance, C, D, E, or D, E, F. Any run of 3 notes within the scale will also match the every note in the chord. So here we have C, D, E, C, D, E, C, D. Interestingly enough, we almost get a perfect match with any run of 2 notes, but in each case it leaves out one of the chords. So 6 of the 7 chords would be covered by any 2 consecutive notes. They have to be consecutive in order for it to match all of them. So let's just check this. We have C, D, and then in this case, the E minor doesn't have either one of them, but then C, D, C, D. Let's just check another one of these here. We have D and E, E, D, E. The F major would not have either one, D, E, D. So any run of 2 notes will cover 6 of the 7 chords. If you were to analyze the chord progression in advance and realize, okay, one of them is out, one of the chords are not being used, in a lot of cases there's no diminished chord. So if I take the G and the A and look at that, we see G, A, G, A, G, A. So if a chord progression uses the 1 through 6 chords, the G and the A could be good target notes. Just 2 notes will harmonize with any of the chords in a diatonic progression. And then interestingly enough, the one note, the one chord that's left out will produce a 7th chord with one of the 2 notes. So looking at this in review, if we take any suspended chord, any 1-4-5 arrangement, and those 3 notes will match the one, at least one of those notes will match each of the triads in a key. And similarly, another set of 3 notes that will match every note in the key, or at least one of each of the notes in the triad, would be any run of 3 notes, C, D, E, D, E, F, E, F, G, so on and so forth. So the way that I would recommend experimenting with this is if you're playing with another player who's playing chords and you're soloing over the top of it, limit yourself to the suspended notes of one chord and try to harmonize with each of those. Or if you're recording some chords first, test yourself to see if you can find the note that matches with it, either by ear or thinking about it or writing it in advance. Let me know what you think, leave me a comment, and hope you enjoyed the video.